Hi, I'm Gonçalo, and in this presentation I'm going to outline my work developing the play called Save. The script consisted of 5 acts, 9 pages, and before the coronavirus we had 2 meetings where we broke the script down into moments. In my script I had 37 moments. I also started writing the intention for each line, or at least I wanted, but I only did it for one specific scene that Honor helped me. We were kind of killing the time. I said I struggled a little bit doing this for each line, so she helped me, kind of like an example for the other ones, so I could do it alone. And I chose a specific scene that is when Pam asks Len to move out, or when he's moving out, and then they get into an argument. I did this particular scene because it was a very intense scene and I wanted to make sure I was carrying out the right emotion and the struggle within my character. Then Honor told us that instead of doing a play we were going to do individual monologues, which I also broke down mine into 9-10 moments, and then we started working on our character profile. This is mine. I'm going to just read a little bit, show some of the things I put here. His name is Len, he's 26 years old. His current location is London. He has an higher education and he works in finance. And before he came to London, he worked in the stock market, but because of the uncertainty, he left. And I included this to show how much he loved Pam, because in his work life, the uncertainty led him to leave. But his love life, even though everything was very uncertain with Pam, he stayed. Eye color blue, hair color light brown, his average height, he has some freckles. Outfit, his regular outfit was light brown pants, blue white shirt, Air Force Ones or white Nikes. A level of grooming, sometimes he lets a beard grow a little, and his walk is regular. What I mean by this is that when you first look at him, you wouldn't think much of him. His speech is calm and confident, but still a little shy. And when I say shy, is that you can relate to him because it just seems very normal. You know, his voice would crack, but it wouldn't make much of it. His posture is a little bit uptight, but it feels like you can come to him. His eye contact. I said when he gets nervous or scared, he will break eye contact. His facial expression is smiling. So again, that open personality that you feel you can go to him. He was also always very interested in his studies, and talking about family, his father died when he was younger, and he always took care of his mother. I think his personality will be a more of an introvert, that it would usually keep him to himself. And then after we worked on our character profiles, we did a vision board that I can show you for our character. This is mine. So with this I put a bit of a blend that when you first look at him you wouldn't think much of him. So this is kind of like the house I grew up in, and then this is like his higher education, how it was also very interested in his studies, and this shows that his father wasn't there when he was a kid, and that his mother wasn't very emotionally available to him even though they had a good relationship, but they just never really connected after the his father died. Another thing that we did that it kind of helped me a lot was hot seats, that and those exercises were, I thought they were very funny to do, were very fun to do, because one exercise that we had was Honor asked my character Len several questions about my family, work, and even love life. And one of the things that I really remember from that hot seat session was she asked me, "Have you ever fallen in love?" And which Len responded, "Yes." I never really said it out loud, but I don't think I'll love anyone the way I love Pam. And seeing Honor reaction, she was like, "Oh," and it was just funny to see. Another hot seat that we had was to perform an improvised monologue where we said everything that we were feeling towards a specific character. And in my case, since my original monologue was my character Len writing a letter, Honor wanted me to write one to Pam. And to be honest, it wasn't a very good monologue. Uh, it just didn't come out the way I wanted, but but it did. But I don't. Sorry. But I think it was helpful because it brought out stuff that I didn't know about my character, and how did my character Len actually see his relationship with Pam, because I thought he was so blinded by her that he didn't understand how they how the two of them saw the relationship. But then when me and Honor were discussing, I think towards the end of the monologue, I think he finally understands that they will probably never be together, or at least at that point they can't be together because they're on different levels in life, I guess. And I think that at at the end of the monologue he understands that I mean, he still loves Pam. He didn't fall out of love of her, but he still loves her. But at least he understands that at least right now they can be together. And another stuff that I learned from that exercise was that Len feels a bit guilty from not protecting Pam from Fred. And what I mean by this is that I think since the beginning Len knew that Fred wasn't a good apple, so I it blames himself a little. It doesn't blame Pam at all. And I one of the things that I wanted to show while I was performing the monologue was that I don't Len doesn't blame Pam at all, but he blames himself a little bit from not protecting her, since he knew that she was a bit sensitive, and he blames himself for everything that happens a little bit with Fred. And that he never really hated anyone in his entire life, but he does hate Fred. But it's not like that hate that, you know, extreme. But I think he does hate a little bit of Fred. Um, One of the things that we did also in my script that I'll go more into theory. I since the beginning, since we got the original script, the first time I read it, I went to Stanislavski because I kind of go towards him a lot. And if, for example, when I say that we use Stanislavski in my to help me perform my monologue, was Honor had this exercise where we tell a good story about a person, a place, or just a happy story. And we did that with a bad story, something really bad that happens that can connect to certain moments of my monologue. And um, we did that. So I told a story about my friends, a great day that we had. And she said, when I talk about Pam, to think of that emotion, she said, when you were telling the story, your face just light up. You weren't just reading, you were telling a story about the good times. So that's what you need to be doing when you talk about the old Pam. And it also helped me with a laugh, because the first few times I was doing, I forced the laugh, so it sounded fake. But she said not to worry much about it, that the laugh will come naturally when you talk about, or and she said it doesn't have to be a laugh, because I was doing a laugh, like I was laughing at a joke. She said the laugh is kind of like there for you to brush it off and go back into the monologue, and that helped me because the laugh was really taking me out again, because I was trying to laugh like I was laughing from a joke. She said the laugh is just there to brush you off for the next moment in the script. And the other story was about a bad thing. For example, a story that I told was rejection that I had in life, and she said, "Oh, that is great because it applies." I mean, not great that I went through rejection, but the example that I used was great because it applies to the script, and where because Pam rejected Lan, so it kind of connects there. So there's that. I shifted the emotion from my personal life into the script. And another thing that I have written in big is don't rush it, enjoy it, because Honor was always telling me that not to rush it. And one of the sessions that we had, the first two paragraphs I went really quickly, and then I slowed down and started, I guess, performing the monologue instead of just saying it, which was very good. And I have my monologue here, and I just want to show not all of it, just some parts, so I can discuss about my characterization. Okay. One of the things that wanted to show was that it wasn't like weak. I guess when you look at Freddy, it would be like the alpha male, but I didn't want to. When you see my monologue, I didn't want you to think that I was weak, and that's why I didn't protect Pam. So yeah. Another thing, I wanted the voice, I wanted to be normal, but I wanted to break sometimes because my voice breaks a lot, and I wanted to, but I can make it not break. Uh, if that makes sense. And I wanted my voice to break a few more, a little bit in the monologue, just to make his character feel real, like he's vulnerable, so he's letting his guard down. And yes, I think it's everything. I talked about everything, so I hope I get a good grade. Thank you.